capital city of Caracas, Venezuela, a place once spoken of with fear, where many areas were known for armed robberies, kidnappings, extortion, theft, and crime. Warnings, red signs, and neighborhoods that were once considered off limits. What is life like for people living there now? Join me as we step into this place together. Hola, let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to continue following my journey of discovery. Right now, I'm here with a friend. His name is Carlos. He's from Venezuela and lives in Caracas. Today, I want to share a story with you. It's a trip, an experience of wandering through this capital city to see what life is really like for the people here. The buildings you see around us are some of the oldest in the city with a long history behind them. This is the very center of Caracas, and that building over there is the tallest in the city. It also houses the port, making it one of the most important and prominent structures in Venezuela. Caracas is the capital of Venezuela, located in the north of South America, in a valley, narrow and surrounded by high mountain ranges, not far from the Caribbean Sea. People here speak Spanish. Then they have lived through years of instability, economic crisis, social unrest, and areas once considered among the most dangerous in Latin America. Today I am stepping into a place once seen as off limits, a place where in the past, violence and insecurity overshadowed daily life. Because I want to witness these neighborhoods firsthand, and more importantly, how people are living now, and how Caracas is telling its new story in its own way. On weekends, this place becomes much more lively. There are a lot of activities here, including fairs and entertainment events. The kids here are playing football. As you can see, this is how they create a mini stadium. It allows the children to compete in a really fun and organized way. First of all, it looks just like a real grass field. There are 2 small pitches. The students are competing between classes. Each team represents a smaller group or class. It looks very exciting and interesting. I walk into the center of Caracas, where the rhythm of South American life is most evident. In the square, I saw Latin music echoing endlessly, trembling and full of energy. The way people are here, facing life every day. I have a lot of old people around me talking. Young people gather. And the kids are playing football with focus. The discipline and the technique really surprised me. In this moment, I'm feeling a city with the Latin rhythm, vibrant, warm, and filled with the desire to live. Right now, Carlos will buy us a ticket to take the cable car to the top of the mountain. Well, as you can see, this is where tickets are sold to get a metro. If we go down here, this is the way to go metro subway in this city. And when we go, we'll go cable car to go up the area. People born up here, and people can buy monthly tickets. Like here, there's a lot of people living there. They buy monthly tickets, and that cost is a lot cheaper. We're going through here. Now I'm going to swipe in here to get through. It means welcome. As you can see, it's no different than anything else, cable car travel. But I did ask Carlos, just now the cost. Is it expensive to go up on this cable car? He said it was cheap. It's less than $1/2 for 2 people. Caracas is the capital, Venezuela, and is located at about 1,000 m above sea level. So that's what you see. There are a lot of houses on the cliffs that hang Leo in this capital. And what it's about is moving around the capital. Going up and down the mountain is normal. These are residential homes of ordinary people in the capital, Caracas. Most of them will live in houses like this. And actually, there's a pretty clear distinction between the 2 areas. As you can see, it's here. It's a residential area. People who have income, average down. Even further away than Kia, it's an upward average. These are the buildings. In front of me are the small houses in Chen, may it be on the mountains. Building husband stack class, T class, and somewhat messy, but that's where thousands of families are, living every day. Of course, it's not flashy here. It's not planned tomorrow, but it's got a very specific rhythm to it. Very attractive to me personally. The cable car is not for sightseeing. It's like a familiar path to bring people back home from the city, between the high slopes of the capital, Caracas. We're going to a station right now. This is for the people who live there. This area, people can go out of this cabin. If not, everyone can sit back. It's like taking the bus to every station. We can go down and station. Well, I guess I'll just go to the last station. And this is how they move, because you see that the hips here are all high peaks. As you can see, I am here to show everyone that. High houses on the mountaintops. The top of the hill is like this. That's why the vehicle, getting around by bus, is also difficult. That's why the government has, well, make things. Cable car line. It's for people living in high places like this. Well, here we've looked down. We see the whole football field. And people are playing scratch ball. Right from the cable car, I can see many roofs and walls featuring large-scale murals of people of color. This is part of a community art project where local residents use murals to tell the stories of Afro-Venezuelans. Also known as Afro-Venezuelan identity, their source of pride. These murals are not just to beautify the neighborhood, but are a way for residents to assert, we are here, we have a history, and we want to be seen. Historically, many Afro-Latin American communities are descendants of Africans brought here during the slave trade, who then established very distinct and resilient cultural identities. In this context, Afro is mentioned to honor Black identity and affirm the history, values, and presence of this community in today's Venezuelan society. We have now reached the final stop. Okay. And we're going to take a walk around this area to see what life is like here. Everywhere, including public spaces. Look at this. It is extremely clean and hygienic. That is the first thing I noticed upon arriving in Venezuela. Everywhere is so clean and beautiful. I'm leaving the cable car cabin and starting to walk into the residential area on the mountain. This place used to be associated with many safety warnings before I came here. Everything I read was mostly about fear, red marks on the map and advice to stay far away. Yet, the reality before me is quite different. The roads, though narrow and winding, are very orderly. Houses are stacked upon each other along the hillside. Though visually cluttered, it is a neighborhood functioning quite normally. Walking through here, I hear music everywhere. There's no tension in the air. It is not chaotic, but surprisingly calm. Perhaps outdated information and recurring prejudice are burdens that Caracas is forced to bear. And I see a Caracas on the mountainside changing day by day, quietly, slowly, and above all, far different from the reputation. Compared to what I had imagined before setting foot here, just 5 years ago, this was one of the most dangerous areas with frequent armed robberies. But now, as a foreigner, walking around here feels incredibly safe and friendly. Everyone has been greeting me with such joy and friendliness. That's the change, everyone. Many people ask me, Min, why are you going to such a dangerous place? Be careful or you'll get robbed and mugged. You have to stay safe. Everywhere has good and bad people, but honestly, since arriving here, I'm not just being polite. I truly have a lot of praise for Venezuela. What caught my attention is that almost every house here has a car. They are old cars, of course. They're not new, but they're still used daily. That indicates a certain level of stability in the lives of many families. It means people are commuting to work, earning a steady income, and maintaining their daily routines. At least, what I'm seeing is a far cry from the image of extreme hardship often portrayed by outside media when talking about Venezuela. And at the end of this road, as you can see, this housing complex is one of those social housing projects that Hugo Chavez initiated during his presidency. They built many social housing projects to provide the homeless and the poor with a place to live. Since then, projects like these have been expanded nationwide. Furthermore, cable car lines were established to assist those in need. They don't have vehicles like cars or motorbikes to get around. Most of them walk, and it's impossible to hike up a mountain on foot. This whole area is served by these cable car lines, which support the local residents' daily lives. Even schools have been established in these neighborhoods to serve the children. Do you know anything about Vietnam? The girls don't know. Come here.
Saluda a la gente de mi país. Hola. Di hola Vietnam. Dale.
Hola, Vietnam.
Otra vez.
Otra vez.
Otra vez. Más alta.
Dale.
Hola Vietnam. Feliz Navidad ya mismo, ¿no? Eso es. Ai cũng muốn chụp ảnh các bạn ạ. Terraza del Alba.
Ajá.
¿Con? ¿Dónde van?
Vamos para allá. Ahí, una vueltica y regresamos.
Sí, sí. Sí.
As you can see, the locals here are very friendly. Whenever they see a foreigner passing by, they always want to take some souvenir photos together. As I mentioned, these areas used to be extremely dangerous. In the past, no foreigner would have dared to set foot in this neighborhood. But now, it's much easier, right? It doesn't feel dangerous at all. Moving on, this area here is also what they call social housing. So, as you can see, this entire neighborhood consists of social housing, and there are many areas like this all across Venezuela. This is a shuttle bus used for transporting people. As you know, and as I mentioned, we took the cable car to get up here. Since this is a mountain road, traveling requires high clearance vehicles like these. That's why people use these types of shuttle buses. They are called shuttle buses, but they are actually high clearance 7-seaters modified to fit 9 or even 10 passengers to reach residential areas like this. This entire mountain region is known as the Avila Range. It is the mountain range that surrounds and protects Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. The Avila Range is an ever-present backdrop to Caracas, stretching out like a deep blue horizon and silently embracing the city. It separates Caracas from the Caribbean Sea while also opening up a space where nature still regulates the climate and the rhythm of urban life. Carlos told me that despite the economic and social upheavals, the Avila remains there unchanged. It has witnessed the growth of this city, the difficult times, and the silent changes. Perhaps that's why, to Caracas, the Avila is not just a mountain range, but a part of its identity, a persistent presence, reminding people that nature is still quietly keeping this entire city breathing. Behind the Avila is the coastal area called La Guaira. La Guaira is an indigenous word, they call it that, because gua means water. I learned this from Carlos and the locals here. Let me tell you. Actually, my friend was just saying that we don't even know where we're going, but we're going anyway. And I asked him if it was safe, and he said it's never been safer. Up here, as you can see, many people used to call this a slum, but that's not actually the case. There are no rats here at all. This entire area is social housing. The houses here are usually built quite low and small. Each floor is only about 2 meters high, even though Venezuelans are actually very big and tall. But for some reason, they all live in these very small houses. Over here, everyone, two currencies coexist, the bolivar and the dollar. with Venezuela's current economic struggles, it's much easier for people to spend using dollars. However, in some other places, they only use the bolivar. People seem much more comfortable if we pay with dollars. Using dollars makes transactions smoother and more convenient, and costs may even be lower. This is because the bolivar keeps losing its value. Consequently, the exchange rate can be 26, 28, or even 30 bolivars per US dollar depending on the location. This guy is carrying a massive speaker. He's probably getting ready to host a party. It's a fiesta. Look, his pants are sagging halfway down his butt. When the Latinos live in here, music is their soul and their life. They simply cannot live without it. They may struggle to find food or face many other hardships in life, but they are never without music.
Cuidado que te caes.
Now we are heading back to continue our journey to another place and hear more stories. See those projects with the photos? There are black and white images on the rooftops. Those are social projects in this area. I leave San Agustin for my next stop. That carrying far more questions than fears. Ahead, the houses still cling to the mountainside. There are still many untold stories on these roads, and I want to keep going to go further and deeper to discover what life is really like on the hillsides of Caracas. Right now, these guys are setting up a scene for one of their stories. As I was passing by, I thought they were selling something, but it turns out I was mistaken. From here, we can see the cable cars moving over there, heading down toward the city center. And up here as well, there are many cable car lines. Can you see them? There's one route right here, and another one going up over there. So, it's not just the cable car line we're taking up here. There are even lines connecting to other routes. These are some cute little shops.
Tomamos, pero es como cerveza o qué? Como con azúcar como de caña, no sé.
Ajá.
Sí, sí, sí.
This is a maltine drink, malt-flavored drinks, fruit drinks. Whoa, it has a sweet and pleasant aroma. It smells great, everyone. It's delicious. Whenever you visit Latin American countries, you should try this maltine drink, also known as Malta. Right now, we're standing here to take in the city view. From this height, it looks like they're holding some kind of festival down there. Suddenly, I encountered a group of people playing music and singing joyfully along a narrow street. Neither a stage nor a script was needed, yet joy spread wherever they went. The local residents joined the crowd before they knew it, clapping, dancing, and laughing together. It wasn't a major festival, but a miniature version of the Latin spirit. Here, joy doesn't need a grand reason as long as someone leads the way. The whole street comes alive with festivities. We usually spend 5 hours walking through an entire neighborhood so that everyone can understand and feel our culture, traditions, and identity. This is an experiential route designed to create jobs for the local residents. Then at the same time, it is also a part and from the many different educational programs of the Cultural Foundation. Well, everyone, Carlos and I are back in the cabin to return to our usual routine. This afternoon, we traveled through several cable car stations to reach local residential areas. By normal, I mean places that aren't tourist attractions. Yet there are many fascinating stories here. These stories offer us fresh perspectives on Venezuela and its capital, Caracas. So, if you ever have the opportunity to visit Venezuela, don't hesitate. Because the fact is, security has significantly improved, it's cleaner, people are friendlier, and there's music everywhere. A warm welcome can be found everywhere. That is the message I wanted to share with you in today's video. But for now, thank you. Goodbye and see you in the next program. Goodbye. The change here is not loud or heavily publicized. It is happening slowly through the daily lives of the people. And when prejudices are re-examined through real experience, we come to understand that. Document Hood cannot be judged solely by its past. Caracas on these hillsides today may not be perfect, but it is alive, transforming, and telling a more positive story, the story of its people. Start off the community and faith in a brighter tomorrow.